Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the legendary Seiko Monster in for review. I've wanted to check this watch out for a long time, and I finally got the chance to check one out in real life. There are many reviews of the Monster line out there, so I'll try to keep this brief. The reference I have with me today is the SRP313, commonly known as the Dracula. I remember showing a photo of this watch to my girlfriend while I was recording this review. She said, and I quote, "Those triangles look like teeth." I guess it's easy to see where the Dracula nickname came from. This is the second generation Monster, which was released in 2012. There have been about 5 generations up till now, each bringing with it some form of aesthetic or internal change. I got this watch from Noor at NM Watch, so huge shout out to him. Thank you buddy for loaning me this watch. I'll drop a link to his channel in the description if you want to check him out. As this is a loaner, I can't show you the packaging the watch came in, but I'll take a guess and say it's the usual Seiko cardboard box. Now let's get into some dimensions. It has a 42.5mm case, 47.3mm lug-to-lug, 20mm lug width, 13mm stick, and on a supplied bracelet sized to my wrist, it comes in at 168 grams. It also has a water resistance of 200 meters, and it's available on the secondary market right now for about $500. We'll get into that later. Here's what it looks like on my 6.5-inch wrist. It actually wears pretty well for a 42.5mm case size. The relatively compact lug-to-lug length helps it sit comfortably on smaller wrists. The Seiko Monster comes in a stainless steel case that's almost entirely brushed. There are some polish areas, mostly in the cutouts on the side of the case. The finishing looks nicely done for a watch that was originally around the $200 mark. As you can see from the wear marks throughout, Noor has worn this watch a lot throughout the years, and I love that fact. I personally think this slightly beat up look suits the Monster well, and it shows that it was worn as it should. The case has a blocky side profile and stubby lugs that curve down sharply, allowing it to keep a short lug-to-lug length and aid wearability. The lugs are also drilled, which allows for quick and easy strap changes. This watch has a 120-click unidirectional stainless steel bezel with unique scallop-looking cutouts on the side of it. The scallops make it very easy to grip and turn, and it also has a very nice action with almost no backplay. The bezel has 60-minute markings all around it, and these markings are engraved and filled with high-quality black paint, which seems to have stood the test of time. Another unique part of this watch are the bezel guards at the top and the bottom. Besides just looking aggressive and cool, they serve a function to prevent accidental bumps to the bezel. The crystal on this watch is Seiko's proprietary mineral crystal called Heimdallr. There's a slight dome to it, which produces some cool distortions at certain angles. I believe that's something that's unique to the Seiko Monster line. I've experienced and had quite a few Seiko divers with Heimdallr, and none of them have had a similar domed effect. If you know of any other Seiko divers that came with dome Heimdallr, shout out in the comments and let me know which models they were. Onto the dial, which is matte black and features contrasting red and white colors on the hand and indices. You'll find a printed Seiko logo under the 12 o'clock hour marker and 2 lines above the 6 o'clock marker, denoting both the watch's automatic movement and the 200-meter water resistance rating. The diver's 200 meters text is reserved purely for ISO-rated divers. This means the Monster has undergone rigorous ISO 6425 testing, which is the standard used for dive watches. There's a raised chapter ring around the dial, which lends to a cool 3D effect when it plays against the indices. It gives the dial a bit more depth and visual interest. The indices are where the Seiko Monster really stands out, if it didn't already. They have a triangular shape to them and are outlined in red, with a white lume application inside. This really makes it look like a set of fangs and gives the watch a very aggressive look. The same red and white styling can be found on the hands as well, which feature a broad hour hand and a sword-style minute hand with bicolor seconds hand that starts out black in the middle and is covered in red towards the outer half. You'll find that the dated display is at the 3 o'clock position and is framed in white. I like the fact that Seiko went with black discs, as it blends in well with the overall dial. Seiko Monsters are known to have some of the best lume in the market. Their proprietary Lume Bright formula glows brightly in green and lasts long throughout the night. For a watch that's more than half a decade old, the way the potency of this lume has held up over the years is nothing short of impressive. The Seiko Monster comes with a screw-down crown at the 4 o'clock position. It has a knurled finish that makes it really easy to grip. Once the crown is unscrewed, you can hand wind the watch. Pulling it out one click allows you to adjust the day and date, and pulling out to the last position hacks the second hand, allowing you to set the time. On the back of the case, you'll find a screw-down case back with the usual set of specifications. The caseback also features Seiko's famous wave marking, which is inspired by the popular Great Wave of Kanagawa artwork. This watch is powered by the Seiko 4R36 movement. It's a reliable automatic movement that comes with hacking and hand-winding functions, along with a day-date complication. It beats at 21,600 bph, has 24 joules, and comes with a 41-hour power reserve. Seiko claims an accuracy of plus 45 to minus 35 seconds per day, but it's usually much better than that in real life. This watch comes with an oyster bracelet that has straight and solid end links. The bracelet is brushed but has a polish element in the middle of the links. The links seem to be folded and they can be adjusted using the pin and collar system. The clasp on this bracelet is a double release and comes with 4 micro adjustment holes. While the quality is nothing to shout about, the overall look of this watch pairs really well with the watch head. Now, what do I like about the watch? Well, the first thing I like about it is definitely the uniqueness. Let's be real, there's nothing else like this in the market. Homages aside, that alone is something that's quite a rarity in today's world. When you're wearing a Seiko Monster, you know the probability of bumping into someone else who's wearing it is close to zero. The second thing I like about it is the wearability. I remember seeing Seiko Monster videos by random Rob. He's a huge Seiko Monster fan. And I kept thinking to myself, that's a huge watch, there's no way you're gonna pull it off. Having the actual watch in hand, I was surprised to find that it wore very comfortably on my 6.5 inch wrist. The last thing I like about this is the fact that it's an ISO rated diver. Remember the days where Seiko had ISO rated divers for $200? That's a rarity nowadays. Seeing that diver's 200mm text on the dial gives you the reassurance you're wearing an actual dive watch. You could put it through its paces in any situation, and it'll probably come out still ticking, or in better condition than you. Here are some of the things I dislike about the watch. First being the hard lex crystal. I know, almost all Seiko divers came with hard lex crystal back then. While I do like the domed effect of this hard lex, it will accumulate scratches over the years, as you can probably see in this example. Unlike acrylic, you can't really polish the scratches out on hard lex crystals. It would have been much better if Seiko went with sapphire, though there are a lot of aftermarket options out there if you're keen on modding your watch nowadays. Another thing I don't really like is the bezel guard design. While I get what it's there for, I feel it does more harm than good. I frequently found myself turning the bezel like I normally would on dive watches, only to have my fingers get caught in the sharp edges of the bezel guard. You have to be very conscious of the angles your fingers are at, especially if you're like me and use bezels as a sort of fidget spinner. I do wish Seiko would have softened the edges a little bit more, so it wouldn't feel so sharp when your fingers bump into it. Lastly, let's talk about price. The Seiko Monsters go for upwards of $500 nowadays. That's almost 3 times the price it sold for. At those prices, it only makes sense if you want to buy one if you're a Seiko Monster collector. So to sum things up, what do I think of the Seiko Monster? Well, it is a legendary dive watch, and it's easy to see why. There's nothing else that looks quite like it. It also serves as a reminder of a time where Seiko churned out unique watches that everyone could afford. That uniqueness, when it comes to the Seiko Monster line, also makes it a bit of a Marmite watch though. Some people hate it and find it too loud, while other people love it for those exact reasons. Me? I like what it offers and I understand that it has built a cult following, but I just don't see myself owning one in the collection. It just doesn't fit my personal style. If you like the looks but can't spend $500 for it, there are other options out there for you. Long Island Watch and Heimdallr have homages of the Seiko Monster that come in with some spec bumps at the same time. I've not had a chance to review them personally, but they seem fairly well built and are getting high praise. On the flip side, if you absolutely love Seiko and the Monster line, nothing else will scratch that itch. Save up and keep a lookout for good deals on eBay or your local marketplace. You might just hit the jackpot and become an owner of this undeniably legendary dive watch. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.